So welcome to the end of the 2031 season, and we have a double live con coming up. Let me explain why.
This is just an intro, you better believe it. Jesus, that was bad. Yep, welcome to the series.
So thank you for tuning in if you are new here and you've joined me for the end of this episode and this season 2031. Don't worry, you can catch up with how things are going, etc. from this video and just follow from here. So we have a double live com, and the first live com is for a league fixture match, now the final game of the league season. But let's recap how we got here since the last episode. So we came up against Molde to continue the league campaign after the transfer window, and we got 6-1 victory. Sotta with 2, Mansilla with 3, and Lorenz on the score sheet before going down 4-2 away to Odds. We then played Osana and got 2-0 victory, Knapskog and Mansilla on the score sheet, before 2-2 draw away from home to Rosenborg, Samara and Sotta on the score sheet. Sogndal then came to Egerson, we got 2-0 victory, Bastions and Mansilla on the score sheet. We then lost 3-2 away in Stavanger against Viking, before back-to-back victories of 4-0 over Grorud with Somare, Basic, Hilm and Knapskog, and we've just beat Tromsø 3-2 with Samara getting a penalty, Sotta on the score sheet, and Basic also scoring. Now, one thing I do want to point out, if we go back up to goal scorer's side, Mansilla has picked up a serious injury. He's out for another 5 to 7 months now, which is upsetting because he really did start to hit form. If we go on to the form side of things, reports, form, you can see in the last few games he played, he went the odd game without scoring, but he did pick up goals, and he just looked better recently, to be honest with you, compared to the first few games for us where he was absolutely shocking. But then results in the league do leave us going into this final day with a chance of winning our first ever top flight title with Egerson. So we are at home to Strømsgodset today, and Odds are also at home against Sogndal, who are mid-table. Strømsgodset are also mid-table because they are 9 points behind Brann in 5th, which means both teams basically are playing teams who have nothing to play for. A little bit concerning that we are going to end up falling short here, but the fact that we have a chance of winning the title on the final day is definitely something to be proud of. You can see technically goal difference wise as well, Brann can catch us, so we could end up finishing as low as 4th place. But we could get second and secure that Champions League spot. If we go on to the rules side of things, you can see first place would secure qualification to the Champions League group stage, and second place would secure qualification to the second qualifying round. Then you have third place getting to the playoffs, and fourth place the Europa League in general, and then Europe Conference League for 5th, which we're definitely not going to be in. So minimum Europa League, a chance of Champions League group stage. So let's get into today's game. Urshal has been struggling fitness-wise. We had to use him in the last game. We've just played a Europa League game, which I rested most of the squad. But unfortunately, didn't have enough players to not play Urshal. Just wondering if we rotate. So Urshal starts and maybe Legrade comes on in the second half. Could be an option. The only other option is we do have a youngster, Clint Arne Klepper Christensen, could start on the left wing, Napai on the right, but I don't think a chance of a title match is the best time to be giving him some football. I think even I'm going to go with a bit more experience in that game. So let's get into it. First of a double live come today. So it's going to be an exciting episode. Hopefully we can start the episode by winning the top flight of Norwegian football for the first ever time in Egerson's history. We started in the 3rd tier with this club, and now we have a chance of winning the top flight here, but Odds need to slip up at home to Sogndal, and we need to beat Strømsgodset. 10 minutes in, nothing's happening. I'm just going to encourage. Bit of motivation as Zapaya has a corner, floats into the back post, and we get the header. Holton with the header, his 5th goal of the season, sees us go Egerson's 1, Strømsgodset 0, and we are in the lead here. Come on. Will that see us go top at the minute on goal difference? I think it will. It does. It does. If odds draw the game, we win the title on goal difference. Oh my days, I didn't even work that out in the talk. When we were talking about this, I didn't even work it out. Samara with free kick out wide, floated to the back post, it's pinballing around. And what is happening? Do we have a penalty? Do we have a penalty to potentially go 2-0? They are checking. VAR is checking. We do. It will be Samara with the penalty. He is our penalty taker. Left-footed. Straight at him. Straight at the keeper. Shocking. Right, come on, Basic. Floats onto the back post. Apai doesn't get to it, but he does pick up second ball. He goes inside. No, he doesn't. It's intercepted. Stromscott's there with the opportunity to counter. They go forward into Antonianson, but they just took too long, and we do recycle play. Halton now. Where are we going? Goes forward to Knapskog. Goes back to Jurgensen, the captain of Egerson this season. Jurgensen driving forward slowly, plays it over the top to Samare. Cuts back, Urshal, ball edge of the box, Knapskog. 11th goal of the season for Egerson Academy player Christian Knapskog, vice captain for this season as well, by the way. Makes it Egerson 2, Stromscott set 0. Odds are still 0-0 against Sogndal. We are still, at the minute, going to be champions of Norway in the 2031 season. 8 seasons we have played. 8 seasons completed. Maybe 9 actually. 9 seasons completed. Either way, we have the opportunity to win the top flight of Norwegian football here. Come on. And it looks like we might be getting another penalty. Knapskog on a yellow was fouled. I might take Knapskog off just with my thinking I don't want people to pick up any injuries. Knapskog has the penalty, weirdly. Samara's maybe been dropped. Knapskog tucks it away. 2nd of the game. 12th of the season. Makes it Egerson 3. Stromscott set 0. Why did Samara not take it? He's our penalty taker. He's on the pitch. I would have liked him to have got a goal, to be honest with you. Build that confidence back up. Okay, pump fists. The media's gave you a lot of credit. Keep going. Urshal is struggling fitness-wise. I think I might actually go with Bastions, even though he's more of a defensive-minded player. I just think being fully fit is so much more important. Knapskog goes back to Halton, to Scallon now. Goes back to Halton, been playing really well in central defence so far this season. To Vedvik, who we signed in the summer from Rosenborg. We do lose the ball coming forward, but we do recycle again. Knapskog now inside their half, goes across to Paya. Edge of the box now, goes back to Knapskog on a hat-trick. He's done it. Christian Knapskog gets a final day hat-trick from central midfield to make it Egerson's 4, Stromscott set 0. I said I was going to take him off. Completely forgot. He's now got a hat-trick. Odds are still 0-0. Dear me. I think we might bring on some youngsters. So Samara is going to come off for Sven's mark, and Christensen's going to come on for Apaya. That is 2 academy players coming on now for the final 35 minutes. Both 16 years old. Still odds 0, Sogndal 0. It's all I'm watching now. It's all I'm watching. And you can't even see it. You guys can't... Hang on. I'm going to switch this to later scores so you guys can at least not have my head blocking. So odds are still 0-0. They are still 0-0. Oh, they've scored. Oh, they've scored. There's nothing we can do. We are winning 4-0. There is absolutely nothing we can do. If they don't concede, they are league champions and we've come second. If they concede, then we are champions. Come on. I mean, a second place is insane. We've got to be happy with it. But when you're this close now, we just know this team is getting better and better season by season as we get just a little bit older. I think it would be nice if we can win a title soon. To be honest with you, I think we're knocking on that door now. We are knocking on that door. So the game ended 4-0. In fact, I know we didn't win the title because we would have had a parade if we did. Oh, we came so close. So close. Now we should point out we got 2.02 million for that. We got a 10 million transfer budget for next season with 89k a week on wages, and we have qualified for the Champions League qualifying for next season, which it's always nice. Now, before we get into the second live com, I do want to mention that the board has finally, after about 5 years of asking, agreed to expand our stadium. So that's something to look forward to. They have said at the end of the season they will announce it. So going into next season, we will look at what's happening there. Hopefully 20,000 seats and massive changes, but I doubt it. I do very strongly doubt it. But after the last episode, we were due to play Wrekin in the semi-finals of the Cup, and we managed to secure a 1-0 victory with Urshal on the score sheet. So that sees our second live com today being the final of the Cup, our first ever Cup final of this save. We've just missed out on winning our first ever league title. Let's make sure we don't finish runners-up in the Cup, and let's make sure we can take home a trophy in today's episode. Now, Basic is out suspended, but that's okay. We do have some players who can play in that position. I think Fanny is going to get the chance because he's played well when he's had a chance. 6.98 in his last 5 games shows his current quality. In terms of the right wing, Urshal is fully fit now. I think we're going to go with this squad. The only other option is the fact that Niestrup is such a solid player, and he's developing really, really nicely, by the way. Look, when you look at his attributes, we actually have up arrows on an episode. Doesn't normally happen. But Hansen in goal, Skallen, Holton, Jurgensen, Fanny, Vedvik, Sortek, Knapskog, Apaya, Urshal, and Somare. Somare's been doing well, you know. Just turned 19 now. He's been in double figures this season with 13 league games in 22 games. He's done well. His first ever season in the country. I can only see him developing. I really can. But let's see. Can we please win a top trophy? It would just be insane. It really would. Opportunity here on the counter-attack. Only 1 minute 30 in as I'm trying to have a drink. Apaya driving down the left wing, whips it in. We get the goal. Matthias Sorte with a goal after 1 minute and 40 seconds. Bomb and forward from central midfield. Apaya with the left cross in. And it is Tromsø 0. Egerson's 1 in our first ever cup final. And what a bit of football that was, by the way. What a bit of football that was. Pleased with that. Very pleased with that. And we need this to be something, don't we? We'll go that. Latest events. Hello? Latest event. We scored a goal. Which pass map? Hello? Anything? So according to the pass map, we've not done anything. Is there anything on here? Yes, the pass map's there. But how are we looking? When you look at this, back four's nice. Defensive, maybe that's okay. Maybe the right winger needs to be a bit further forward. Could be the only criticism I would have in terms of looking at the average shape. Free kick though for 1-1. It's 1-1. Tromsø 1, Egerson's 1. I'm just going to encourage. We won 1 in the cup final. Bit of encouragement. 30,000 fans there, by the way, as well. It'll be interesting to see how many is Egerson's and how many is Tromsø. In terms of analysis then, how we're looking... Okay, I didn't want to look at it anyway. Pumfis, come on. We've been the better team? No. Go out there and give the fans their money's worth. Come on. Okay, average team with that positions without the ball. But it's very similar. The only difference is Apaya gets a lot further forward when we have the ball to when we don't. But we're coming to the hour. We've not been anywhere near as good as in the last few games. I think I'm going to make changes depending on the fact that we've got yellow cards here. So Vedvik's going to come off for bastions in defensive mid. Knapskog for Nestrup in central middle, we've just looked at. And Urshal I'm going to bring off for Legrade because, well, he's just a very quick dribbler of the ball. And sometimes you need that to break down teams. But over the hours played now, I'm just going to fire us up and see if that can help. We do have a pass map now. Still no goals have scored, but we have a pass map. He's a highlight. Trumps on the ball, just inside their half. Crossing over, we do intercept it. Knee strip now to Samare. Onto the left foot, tries to bend one. Comfortable for the goalkeeper, I would say, though. Stays 1-1. Can I do another shout? I can. Let's just give a bit of encouragement. Goal kick for Tromsø. Can we win the first ball? We don't. Do we win the second? No. Do we win the third? No. Fourth ball we win. And give it straight back. Come on. Is the big lights of a cup final a bit too much for our young squad? Are there any players who have struggled with the bright lights? Come on, we forced them all the way back. Tromsø back to their defenders, but they do go back forward in midfield. Now down the wing. They do get the opportunity with plenty of time, and Bastians gives a penalty away, and Tromsø now have a chance to go 2-1 up. We are going to counter press for the final 10 minutes, see if we can make sure we don't go out with a whimper here. As they put it in the top corner, Williamson with the goal makes it Tromsø 2, Egerson 1. Disappointing. I think we are going to edit and just go all out attack actually, because we need to not lose this game basically, as the game's just super slowed down to a full match as well. Let's go to key highlights for the live comms for you guys. Right, Jurgensen, please demand more. Tromsø, our bottom half team. We have just qualified for the Champions League, and we have not turned up in this cup final. 2 defeats on today's episode. We missed out on the league title. We have now missed out on the cup, and we have to watch another team lifting the Norwegian Cup. It's not fun to watch. It's not fun to watch. Come on, lift it up so we can skip. I just feel like we have to show respect and watch it. Yep, thank you. Dressing room. Point finger. I'm disappointed. We could have won this trophy. I would say we were the better team. We were the more favourites, and we just didn't step up, unfortunately. So that's second place in the league, second place in the cup. Shall we check how we've been doing in Europe? So here we are with the Europa League group phase so far. So we start off against Malmö at home. Urschals with our goal there, before travelling to Germany, played by Leverkusen, and we lost that game 2-0. But since then, we've been very, very good. We beat Olympiacos 3-0, Sorte, Holten and Samare, before a 4-2 over St. Patrick's, Knapskog, Lorenz with 2 and Henning Larsen. Then a very heavily rotated side went to Trabzonspor and got a 1-0 victory. London in goal, Fanny, Bastions at centre-back alongside Lasko, Hilm, Sundra, Larsen, Urschals, Ahrens, Legrade, Svendemark, Nestrup, Samare, Jurgensen, Sorte all on the pitch. So to secure that win and 3 points was insane. We are currently in 9th place, and we are looking good to secure knockout stage football in the Europa League going into the start of next season, the 31-32 season for the rest of Europe. I'm really pleased with how we've looked so far in European competition. So far this season, and let's have a look who's been scoring the most goals, etc. With 20 goals in all competitions is Samare, Knapskog with 13, Lorenz and Sorte with 12s apiece. Mansilla ended up picking up 9, Urschals with 7, Holten with 5, Larsen 4, and Basic with 3. In terms of assists, only 1 in double figures, which was a Paya with 10. Lorenz with 9, Sorte with 7, and then Samara and Legred, Knapskog and Skallen all with 6s apiece. I've been a lot more pleased with how we've looked compared to the last couple of seasons. I think there's a lot of potential. When I look at the squad, goalkeeper age 25. If we remove out Fanny and bring in Basic again, Basic only 18 years old. Jurgensen and Holden 25 and 26, Skallen 26. Vedvik is only 19, Sorte 23, Knapskog 24, Urschals 23, Apaya 21, Samara 19. When we look at the bench, Laxko, our new backup central defender, is only 18. Nestrup, this young Danish central mid we've picked up, 19. Larsen's 29. Christiansen only 16. Svendmark only 16. Two players who came through our intake in the last 12 months. Really pleased with both of them. Legred's 24. Bastion's 22. We have another player who came through the intake in Jens Ahrens, who was developing really well. That's why he's ended up moving up into the first team. Really pleased how he looks. And then you got Hilmer 29. Fanny's 25. Xiao Vinicius is 21. Lorenza 20, Mansilla 19, and Sundra is 19. Now, Lorenz, 19 starts in the league, 2 goals, 5 assists. What I will say is we have a new first choice right midfielder coming in next season. So Lorenz will drop to be our backup. And I know some people say he still has potential. The player I have signed is 1 year younger, but attribute-wise is a class above. And he is Norwegian, and he is coming from a club on the west coast. So not super local, up in Bergen, but local enough, and I think it's a good bit of business. We won't look at it till the start of next season, so next episode. But I think it's a very, very good bit of business. And this squad is looking very, very good. When we looked at our B team, we've got some good players in our B team at the minute who do have potential long term. We've got our Burundi striker, who I still think has a lot of potential. 13 league goals and 27 for our B team this season. Horgham, who I still don't know, but you still never know. He still could develop in some. Then we have a lot of players who have been out on loan this season, as you can see. Some with potential, like Anderson, but I'm not sure because he's gone off to the second tier in Norway and done very, very poor. Dropping down our B team, our under 19s, I apologise. There's some potential in here. You've got Shelseth, who we did pick up this season, who we looked at before, picked up from Odds, 18 years old now. There is some potential there with him. And then we've got obviously the Serbians, well, who we picked up, who also there's a lot of potential. And these players have all been picked up young enough that when they turn 21, they are classed as homegrown players for us, which is fantastic. In terms of how we did our under-19s, if we go to the fixtures, you can see here that we lost in the cup final to Molde, but we held our own and we looked very, very good. We did qualify and get promoted to the top flight of under-19 football again. So we won the under-19 Rogaland 1. If we go back to that, you can see here 112 points, absolute domination. Only one game we dropped points in, and that was a draw. We ended up getting through to the final where we beat Tromsdalen 3-2. And I have to say I was really, really pleased. I actually dropped Basic down to play for them for that game specific, just so they had that bit more quality, just to make sure we could secure them promotion back to the top flight of under-19 football, because yes, it's nice to score 1 million goals, but at the same time, we needed to get promoted back to playing against the best in the country, in my opinion. So financially, going into the next season, we have 13.5 million in the bank. I don't know if more of that's going to go out for ground maintenance. When they announced they were going to upgrade our stadium, they took 3.5 million out. If I go to expenditure, you can see ground maintenance. Where is it? If I go to this season, ground maintenance there, 6.5 million. That includes some other bits and bobs, training facilities, etc. But they took out 3.5 million towards this stadium expansion. So I don't quite know what's going to happen with that, and we're just going to have to wait and hold on and see what's what. In terms of other teams in our league then so far, I'm still absolutely over the moon with how we're doing. Salary per annum, we're still the second lowest, to 2.69 million spent in a year. We've just qualified for the Champions League, we just came second, and we are spending so little. In terms of transfer spend, we made 6.26 million, so we also made the most amount of money this season. So you've got to be pleased with that. In terms of possession-wise, we've not dominated as much this season as in the past. 55% average. We came second. We came second, so I can accept it. Looking at the league then, you can see odds won title, we came second. Viking and Werder Glimt third and fourth, with Tromsø qualifying for the Europa League due to their cup win. Lillestrøm and Åsane going down. Grorud won the playoff, so they do survive. So coming up is Sandefjord and Chelsea. Going down is Arendal, HamKam and Haugesund going down to the third tier. Now moving down to the third tier to see who's coming up. Jerv and Lyn are coming up, with Molde, Framlavik and Gjøvik Lyn going down. In the next side, you have Ulkisse and Sandnes going up, with Lillestrøm 2, Kristiansund 2 and Fredrikstad 2 going down. Now drop down to the fourth tier here. Grorud B team is going up. Sogndal's B team is going up, with two of my local sides, Brud and Sola, both getting relegated. Hood are coming up. Olesund's 2 are coming up. Tromsdalen are coming up to the third tier. Stjørdals Blink, who used to be managed by an Englishman, Tim Dent, Mr. Dent, former manager of that club. They are now back up into the third tier, so fair play to him. Then obviously, as we know, we didn't quite win the Norwegian Cup, unfortunately. In terms of the under-19 national championship, Vålerenga's under-19s won that. Now, in terms of our squad, I'm pleased with how we look. We have a new right winger coming in, which is needed. Apart from that, I don't see any changes to the first team being needed. I went through all of my squad, and behind my webcam I have the pros and cons of each player. And the only player who doesn't like big matches is our captain, Jonas Øfsten Jørgensen, who is an academy player, is in the club when you start. And yeah, does he need replacing long term? Potentially, because he doesn't like big matches. Could we look at maybe dropping him out of the big games? Potentially, Champions League matches, etc. Drop him out. That could be an option. But I'm pleased with the squad. We've got players like Hansen is just developing so well, and he's good enough keeper to be with us long term. Our backline, our midfield, our attack, it's good. And it's only going to get better year by year. We've got some youngsters in the under-19s who can come up. The only thing I want to do now, I think, is I do want to spend in the winter. I think the likes of Vålerenga's under-19s, who are the current champions of Norway's under-19s, people like that, go and have a look at their squads, find the top goal scorers, top assists, top interceptions, and pick up them players from my under-19s and look at bringing them through to the first team. Getting players in from around Europe, aged only 17, so when they turn 21, they are homegrown players for Champions League registration. They become Norwegian citizens aged 22. They don't count as my foreign players anymore. That's the type of transfers I think I'm going to look at in this window. But I'm excited to push on. Hopefully you guys are excited about it too. I've been Paul, also known as the Northman. Make sure you do comment below. Let me know your thoughts of it. As we preview next season, we're going to also look through the staff and discuss how that's changed over the last few seasons. We do have a new assistant manager now who you might have heard of. I'm going to give you a clue. He's a former Chelsea captain. I've been Paul, also known as Northman. I'll see you next time.